All right. Hare Krishna. So welcome to all the devotees to our English Bhakti Sastri class. I apologize. In the last week, I quite occupied by so many things, and our class should be postponed. All right. So we will start our class by reciting the Mangala Charan prayers to invoke auspiciousness. And meanwhile, I would like to encourage all the devotees here to open up their videos so we can see each other. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Shwapanakam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha. Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Shahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Ladita Sri Visakhanutam Cha. Hey Krishna Karuna Shindu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Vete Jat Kripa Tamaham Bande Sri Gurun Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chataneshwara Katanchana Smrite Yasmin Duskaram Sukaram Bhavet Vismrite Viparitam Shat Sri Chaitanya Namamitam Hare Krishna. So in the previous chapter, in chapter 3, we have concluded where Lord Krishna explained to Arjuna that engage in karma yoga in Krishna consciousness. Then as the yoga ladder advancing, proceeding toward, now we are proceeding toward the jnana yoga. So naturally after karma it comes jnana, because when one performs karma, so one's activities and existence will become purified, and then by that purification, so one will gain spiritual knowledge. So that's the ladder here from karma. Now we are entering Gyan Yoga. Yeah, chapter 4 entitled Gyan Yoga. Right. So there are two parts of our discussion tonight. This is the first one, is transcendental knowledge about Krishna. So basically from text 1 to 10, yeah, as the supreme authority, Krishna spoke this knowledge earlier to Vivasvan, Imam Vivasvata Yoga, see that. And now speaks it again to Arjuna, because he is Krishna's devotee and friend. Yeah, Bhaktosi me sakachiti. Although Krishna is unborn, he comes into this world to reestablish religion, to protect his devotees, and to kill the demoniac. This will be explained in text number 8, Paritranaya Sadhunam verse. Anyone who understands this knowledge will attain love for Krishna and go back to Godhead at the end of this life. Yeah. Janma Karma Chame Divyam, text number 9. All right. And then the second part of our discussion from text 11 to 15 tonight, we'll be discussing about Krishna is the goal of all paths, and Krishna is the person who established Varnashram. Yeah, interesting. We will discuss about Varnashram. So we start from text number 1. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Imam Vivasvate Yoga Proktawan aham avyayam vivasvan manave praha manur ikswakave bhavit. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivaswan, and Vivaswan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. So this is how it started, yeah, from Krishna to Vivaswan and then to Ikshvaku, no, to Manu and then Ikshvaku. So the science is coming through the disciplic succession, yeah, parampara system. So the Gita was spoken by the Lord to Vivaswan at least how many years ago? So it is described in Srila Prabhupada's purport. Who would like to answer this question? Yeah, the Gita was spoken by the Lord to Vivaswan at least how many years ago? Srila Prabhupada mentioned how many years? This purport? Anybody?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
I think it's 12 crore years ago.
How many?
Uh, Actually, I was here from somewhere that Sri Krishna told millions of years ago, I think 12 crore years ago.
It is there in the purport, Srila Prabhupada's purport. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Mohan Prabhu. So here it is. Gita was spoken by the Lord to his disciple, the sun god, Vivaswan. A rough estimate is that the Gita was spoken at least 120,400,000 years ago. Yeah, that's a long time. So this actually, when Krishna mentioned to Arjuna that he already spoke this knowledge to Vivaswan, and then Arjuna later will ask Krishna that how is it possible by age actually Vivaswan, the sun god, is much more senior than you. Then how you can instructed him that the time 120 million 4 lakhs years ago, but you just appear 125 years ago. Then how is it possible? And Krishna will explain that later. I think this question is one of the closed book assessment questions. Yeah. So take a note of this: 120 million or 100,000 years. Yeah. Srila Prabhupada continue. Human life is meant for cultivation of spiritual knowledge in eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the executive heads of all states, and all planets are obliged to impart this lesson to the citizens by education, culture, and devotion. Since the Vedic instructions are accepted as they are without human interpretation, the Gita must therefore be accepted without mundane interpretation. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita has to be accepted as it is from the disciplic succession, and it is described herein that the Lord spoke to the sun god. The sun god spoke to his son Manu, and Manu spoke to his son Ikshvaku. There are quite a few significant points here in Srila Prabhupada's purport. So first, Srila Prabhupada talks about the value of human life. Yeah, because we are talking here about Gyan, yeah, transcendental knowledge. Yeah, Gyan. So the value of human life, only in the form of human life we can understand God realization. Therefore, in many occasions, Srila Prabhupada explained that actually the Krishna consciousness movement, he makes very clear point here. The Krishna consciousness movement is not meant for cats and dogs, but it is meant for the human. Yeah, Rishabhadev Maharaj explained in the fifth canto, in the fifth chapter. fifth canto, fifth chapter, to his sons. Yeah. First verse mentioned Nayam Deho Deha Bhajam Riloke Kastan Kaman Arhativid Bujam Ye. Tapo Divyam Putra Kayena Satvam Sudhyat Yasmat Brahma Sakyam Panatam. So first he mentioned that Nayam Deho Deha Bhajam Riloke. So when we get this human form of life, Nayam, it is not for sense gratification. Kastan Kaman Arhati with Bhujam. The word with Bhuja means the stool eater. So sense gratification can be derived by stool eater animal. So this human form of life is meant for something higher, not for sense gratification. Yeah, kamasha lendriya pritir labo jiveta yavata jivasya tatva jigyasa na arto yacheha karma bihi. This is the advantage of getting human form of life. Yeah. Kamasya na indriya priti is not for indriya priti, not for sense gratification. Yeah. Not for sense gratification, but jivasya tattva jigyasa, to inquire about the absolute truth. Therefore, the Brahma Samhita starts with atattva Brahma jigyasa, to inquire about the absolute truth. So that's the value of human form of life. Brahma Saukyam to Anantam. So when we connect ourselves with the Supreme, then we can get real happiness. Brahma Saukyam to Anantam. Yeah. Spiritual happiness, yeah, which is Ananta, which is unlimited. Yeah. Because the nature of material happiness is flickering. Yeah, as Rupa Goswami explained, Chapala Sukha. It is Chapala Sukha, means blinking. It's not eternal, it's just temporary. That's the first thing that Srila Prabhupada mentioned about the value of human life. And then second one, he mentioned about what was that? Yeah, it should be accepted as they are, without human interpretation. So the Bhagavad Gita should be accepted as it is, yeah, without adding something or extracting something. Even if we want to comment on the Bhagavad Gita, we have to refer from the previous Acharya, yeah, not by our own mental speculation. And then the third thing Srila Prabhupada mentioned is that the Bhagavad Gita, or transcendental knowledge, should be accepted through the disciplic succession. Yeah, through the disciplic succession chain, the chain of uh, discipleship, yeah, discipleship. So that's how it is accepted, and that's how it is, how it should be accepted. Yeah, by Guru Parampara system. Guru Parampara system. Therefore, one of the qualification of becoming spiritual master is that he should be connected with a bona fide disciplic succession. One may have knowledge about Krishna, one may remember thousands of verses from the Vedas, but if that person does not connect himself to the disciplic succession, so he actually have no actual connection with the parampara and ultimately to Krishna. Therefore, the knowledge should be accepted from a bona fide spiritual master through diksha. Yeah. What is the meaning of diksha? Anybody would like to give the meaning of diksha? Anybody have heard what is diksha?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, may I try?
Yes, Pranab Prabhu.
Prabhu, Diksha itself, the word means initiation, which means the beginning. So, in the context of what we are talking about right now, it means that we are beginning to learn to cultivate spiritual knowledge, which is the actual goal of human life.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you. Any other opinion? Pranab Prabhu have mentioned correctly, but I want to hear.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna, who are willing to
Pranab
become
Prabhu.
disciplined, who are willing to become disciplined under his guidance.
Very nice. One more devotee, maybe, would like to share. What is Diksha? Initiation. Your Guru Maharaj give you a new name.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
To get the transcendental knowledge, Divya Gyan.
Yes. Divya Gyan, Hriday Prakasi. So, yeah. Thank you. So, Diksha, yeah. In Sanskrit, this word Diksha comes from two syllables, Di and Ksa. So, Di means Divya. Divya means divine or transcendental. Ksa means Ksapayati, to see. So through this process of Diksha, so Divya Ksapayati. So we can see the reality through transcendental knowledge. So the spiritual master, that's why we sing this. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakasito. That means the spiritual master reveal. Hriday Prakash, he reveals the transcendental knowledge in our heart. Yeah. So by the mercy of the spiritual master, we can understand the spiritual subject matter. Therefore, Diksha, that's connect us to Krishna, to the previous Acharya, and ultimately to Krishna. Yeah, very important aspect of spiritual life, Diksha. Yeah. Srila Rupa Goswami explained out of the 64 angas of bhakti, yeah, the first 20, they are very important. And then out of the first 20, the first 3 is most important. Yeah. First is Adho Guru Ashraya, to take shelter of the spiritual master. This is before initiation. Ashraya means before initiation. Just there is a connection between the candidate, disciple candidate, and guru candidate, and recognizing each other and assessing each other. And the relationship is built at that moment. Ashraya, we take shelter. And then being initiated. Number 2, being initiated. Yeah, Diksha. And number 3 is to serve the instruction of the spiritual master. These are the 3 most important angas of bhakti. But of course, if we talk about the most potent anga, most powerful angas, there are 5. Yeah, the last 5. Okay. So that's nice point here from Srila Prabhupada's purpose. So this knowledge is accepted through the disciplic succession. In the next verse, Krishna more elaborately mentioned, Evam parampara praptam imam rajar shayu vidu sakaline hamahata yugunastha parantapa. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. Yeah, Raja Rishayu is very important. The saintly kings. A Raja, a king who possessed the quality of Rishi, Raja Rishi. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. So therefore Arjuna speaks again. Sorry, Lord Krishna speaks again to Arjuna because of this reason. Yeah. Sakale neha mahata. Sakale means kala means time. Yeah. Sakale neha mahata. Mahata means the most powerful. By the due course of time. Yeah. Prabhupada explained 5,000 years ago, it was detected by the Lord himself that the disciplic succession was broken. And therefore, he declared that the purpose of the Gita appeared to be lost. In the same way, at the present moment also, there are so many editions of the Gita, especially in English, but almost all of them are not according to authorized disciplic succession. Since there is a great need of an edition of the Gita in English, as it is received by the Parampara disciplic succession system, an attempt is made herewith to fulfill this great want. Bhagavad Gita, accepted as it is a great boon to humanity. But if it is accepted as a treatise of philosophical speculations, it is simply a waste of time. Yeah. So this is the reason why Lord Krishna speaks the Gita again through Arjuna, because the chain, the disciplic succession chain, appears to be broken. Yeah. Therefore, there is a need to give the knowledge again, yeah, transcendental knowledge again through Arjuna. Yeah. And Srila Prabhupada, he made very nice point here. Yeah. If it is accepted as a true choice of philosophical speculation, it is simply a waste of time. Yeah. Dharma swanustitapum sam visvaksena kathasuya. Notpadayad yadi rathim shrama eva hi kevalam. So shrama eva hi kevalam means simply a waste of time. Yeah. Dharma swanustitapum sam visvaksena kathasuya. If somebody performs some religious activities, but that religious activities, does not make him become attached to Krishna, especially hearing about Krishna, then not padayat yadi rati. Rati means attraction. If that religious activities doesn't give attraction, doesn't build attraction in somebody's heart toward devotional service, then srama eva hi kevalam, a waste of time. So same thing also, like Bhagavad Gita, if we just, give our own mundane mental interpretation about Bhagavad Gita, and that does not help the reader to become Krishna conscious, then it just Rama Evai Kevalam, simply a waste of time, as what Srila Prabhupada mentioned here. Okay, why does Krishna speak these signs specifically to Arjuna? So this will be answered in the next verse. Yeah, this is the qualification. Sa evaya maya tedya yoga prokta puratana bhakto sime saka cheti rahashyam yetaduttamam. So there are two things mentioned here. Bhaktosi saka cheti. That very ancient sign of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you, because you are my devotee, yeah, Bhaktosi, my devotee as well as my friend, and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of this sign. So only devotees can understand the signs of Krishna consciousness, the signs of bhakti, because bhakti seems to be simple, but it's actually very, very intricate. Yeah. It's a mystery. Rahasyam means something that's very confidential. Rahasya, confidential. So Krishna revealed this rahasya, this secret, only to his very close friend, his dear devotee. Yeah. Just like when, we have money at home, and of course we keep the money in a secret place, and we lock somewhere at home, and the only person who will get the access is our very close one who is very close to us, for example, like wife or maybe children also. Yeah, those whom we trust, those who are very close to us. So we reveal, okay, the money is here. If you need the money, this is the key. You just open and take the money as much as you need, for example, like that. So similarly, the science also like that. It's very confidential. It is rahasya. And, we may think that why Krishna is not merciful to all living entities. Well, the problem here is that because not everybody can understand if Krishna speaks this knowledge to everybody. Only devotees can understand this. Yeah. Bhaktyamam abhijanati avanyachasmi tatomam tadvatu gyatva visati tadanatara. Krishna said that tatomam, tattva about me, truth about me, can be understood only through devotional service. Bhaktyamam abhijanati, not by any other means. Yeah. So therefore, Lord Krishna mentioned here, Bhakto Sime Sakachati, because you are my devotee. First he mentioned, because you are my devotee and you are my very dear friend, therefore I reveal this secret. Just like when we have problem, we approach our friend just to talk, just to talk, to reveal our problem, our situation, or whatever in your heart, you reveal only to your very close friend. You know, you don't take loudspeaker and announce in the public that, oh, you are having this problem, that problem, or if you feel happy due to something. So you just reveal first to your close friend, because your close friend is understanding you better than others. So same thing also Krishna here. Srila Prabhupada mentioned commentation by the devotees is real, whereas that of the demons is useless. Arjuna accepts Sri Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and any commentary on the Gita following in the footsteps of Arjuna is real devotional service to the cause of this great science. Yeah. Krishna also mentioned later in the 7th chapter, Naham Prakasa Sarvasya Yoga Maya Samamritam Mudhoyam Na Vijanati Lokoma Majam. Krishna says, first thing he says that Naham Prakasa Sarvasya, I don't reveal myself to everybody. That means Krishna choose a person, an eligible person. Another thing also will be mentioned later, the qualification in the 9th chapter, qualification of hearing about Krishna Katha is that Anasuya way. Anasuya means non-envious, non-envious to Krishna. If somebody envious to Krishna, so if Krishna says something, of course, he will not listen that. He will not listen, he will reject. Therefore, Krishna choose only a person who is free from envy, and that's devotee. Advaita sarva bhutana maitra karuna evacha. In the chapter 12, it will be discussed here. Actually, from text number 13 to 20, Lord Krishna in chapter 12 gives us lists of qualities by which that qualities will make us endear to Krishna. It starts from Advaita Sarva Bhutana. Advaita, the first thing mentioned by Krishna, Advaita means non-envious. Advaita Sarva Bhutana, non-envious to all living entities. Maitra, be friendly, making friend. Maitra Karuna Evacha, be merciful toward all living entities. So non-envious is one of qualification by which we can accept, we can hear Krishna Katha. Therefore, this knowledge is revealed to Arjuna because Arjuna possessed this quality. Anasuya we mentioned in the 9th chapter. All right. Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the lecture in Vrindavan. So our Krishna consciousness movement is very simple. We haven't got to manufacture anything, any philosophy by research work. Krishna says, Yoga Prokta Puratana. We have to speak the same thing. So Puratana means very ancient. Yeah, this science is ancient. The most very, very old Puratana. We haven't got to manufacture it. Nowadays, we have advanced in education and civilization. Therefore, we have to concoct some idea. So sarcastically, Srila Prabhupada mentioned here, advance in education and civilization. So the point here is that our practice is, our philosophy is already there since, ancient time, Puratana, Yoga Prokta Puratana, since time of immemorial, we could say like that. Because the transcendental knowledge, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaya, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaya, first is revealed to Lord Brahma. So this knowledge, transcendental knowledge, is invested into Lord Brahma's heart. Yeah, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaya, Adikavaya. before the Visarga happened. Yeah. There is Sarga and Visarga. So Sarga is done by Brahma. Visarga is done by Brahma. Sarga is done by Krishna. So before that, in the beginning, so Lord Krishna invested the transcendental knowledge to Lord Brahma. So that means this transcendental knowledge is existed even before the creation. And we have to speak this knowledge as it is. As what was spoken in the beginning. So we don't manufacture anything new, as Srila Prabhupada mentioned here. We may think that this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is started 500 years ago. No, it is not. It's already there since time immemorial. It comes from Goloka Vrindavan. Golokera Premadaman, Harinam Sankirtan. Yeah, it comes from Goloka Vrindavan. It was asked by Nard Muni to Brahma actually in the beginning of creation. Yeah. Later in Kali Yuga, what would be the means for deliverance for all the fallen souls? And Brahma says, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Iti Sudasakam Nam Nam, Kali Kalmasanasanam, Nata Paratarupaya, Sarva Vedeshu Drishyati. The 16 words is the easiest method to deliver people from sinful life. Yeah. Sarva Vedeshu Drishyati. After seeing all the Vedas, Sarva Vedeshu Drishyati, after seeing all the Vedas, they conclude only one thing, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Yeah, for Kali Yuga. Yeah. But what about in Satya Yuga? Are people also chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Yes, but very silently. Yeah, very silently. This mantra is not revealed to the public, very silently. Yeah, they chant in their mind. Kriteya Dhyayato Vishnu. In the Krita Yuga or Satya Yuga, people attain perfection by Dhyayatu, means meditation. But while meditating, they are chanting Hare Krishna in their mind. So this mantra is received from their guru, and the guru is whispering to the disciple, okay, this is the mantra, Hare Krishna, like this, to the disciple's ear. And the guru tells that, don't tell anybody about this mantra, it's secret. But now in Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya is so merciful that you have to give to everybody. Yeah. Just like Srila Ramanujacharya also, when he was given the mantra by Yamunacharya about the mantra Om Namo Narayanaya. So Yamunacharya said that this mantra is so powerful that this mantra can eradicate all your sinful reactions and will bring you to Vaikuntha. Don't tell to anybody. It's only for you. And what happened? Ramanujacharya, he went to the market and started announcing, anybody wants to go to Vaikuntha, please come. I'll give you the secret. And he gives this mantra, Om Namo Narayanaya. You chant this, and everybody starts chanting, and Yamunacharya came to know. Alas, now we are going to the hell. And he starts chastising actually Ramanujacharya. Why you do this? I told you, don't tell anybody. We will go to the hell if we reveal this mantra. And then Ramanuja said, well, okay, no problem. I can go to the hell. As long as all these people go to Vaikuntha, no problem. I can go to the hell. So this is para dukkha dukkhi, the nature of devotee. And Yamunacharya, even he offered obeisances to his disciple. How magnanimous is his disciple? Yeah. So the point is that we are having this philosophy. It is not something new. Yeah, the mantra that we chant is not something new. It's already there, and we just do it as it is. Therefore, the seeing the commentary of the previous acharya is very, very relevant, because through the previous acharyas we understand the real thing. So sometimes we don't understand one sloka, for example. And if we start to speculate using our mundane interpretation, and that might be wrong. And that might be misleading also for some people. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada always refers his commentaries purport to the previous acharyas. A very important aspect. Being loyal to the previous acharyas. Therefore, session means we are seeing, we are following the previous acharya. And then now here Arjuna is asking, after Lord Krishna mentioned that I instructed these signs to the sun god, now Arjuna is asking about this. Arjuna said, the sun god Vivaswan is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed these signs to him? Yeah, first point, Arjuna is an accepted devotee of the Lord. So how could he not believe Krishna's words? What is the purpose of Arjuna asking this question? It's not for him actually, it's for us, for our benefit. The fact is that Arjuna is not inquiring for himself, but for those who do not believe in the Supreme Personality of God. Yeah. Same thing like in the 11th chapter, for example, in the 11th chapter. Why would Arjuna ask Lord Krishna to reveal the Virat Rupa? It's not for Arjuna. Arjuna, Prabhupada mentioned toward the end of 11th chapter that devotee, pure devotee like Arjuna, he doesn't like to see this Virat Rupa. First of all, it's horrible. So many people being crushed in the teeth of the Virat Rupa. And Arjuna was trembling. Pure devotee like Arjuna doesn't like to see this Virat Rupa. But he realized the Shama Sundar form, the two-handed form of the Lord. Yeah, that's what he liked. But Arjuna was asking Krishna to reveal this Virat Rupa in order to, establish first of all that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, accepted in the 10th chapter of it. Anyway, I'm just crossing over a little bit. It's interesting. Krishna already accepted Arjuna already accepted Krishna as the Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram Paramam, Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Krishna says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu, everything comes from me. Now, in order to prove that word, so Arjuna wants to say actually, okay, you say that you are the Supreme God, you are the source of everything. Now you have to prove it. So reveal it to me now. Reveal it to me. So Krishna revealed the Virat Rupa in order to prove his word in the 10th chapter. And Prabhupada also explained that if in the future somebody may claim to be God, so he should be able to manifest this Virat Rupa. Another very interesting point in the Bhagavad Gita is that why the Bhagavad Gita started with the discussion of Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya. The essence of Bhagavad Gita is the conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Then why Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya would involve in this Bhagavad Gita? Why? It's just filling up the page. If only between Krishna and Arjuna, maybe we would read less. Because of Sanjaya is there, Dhritarashtra is there. So the page of Bhagavad Gita is expanding. Why these two personalities appear in the Bhagavad Gita? Why not only Arjuna and Krishna? Anybody would like to respond on that? Interesting question, isn't it? Have you ever thought that why Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya appear in Bhagavad Gita?
Hare Krishna.
Wait, one by one. Okay, first Prabhu, Mininath Prabhu, and then Manish Prabhu. Yeah.
I'll just try actually because this was a Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra. So this was a part, and what I have heard from many devotees that Krishna had problems not much with actually Duryodhana, but much with Arjuna's, in disguise of dharma, he was actually doing adharma. So that is, yeah. So Sanjay, like Dhritarashtra is actually he's representing, you can say, adharma. Actually, he's actually supporting the adharma, Arjuna, Duryodhana, and of course to have a contrast with that, all those things. No? That so that's what my understanding. I don't know. I may be not correct also. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for your contribution. Yes, because Dhritarashtra was supporting Duryodhana. That's also very important aspect. Thank you. Okay, Manish Prabhu.
Yes, yes, bro. Hare Krishna. Bro,
Hare
I'm just
Krishna.
speculating this. I haven't anything. Maybe for people like us to differentiate between good and evil,
Mm,
like less intelligent and more intelligent.
mhm.
What we should do and what we should not do.
Right.
Maybe.
Maybe
Hare Krishna.
this word maybe is very dangerous. But we always appreciate anybody's contribution here. Thank you. Yeah, why Sanjaya and Dhritarashtra's conversation appear in the Bhagavad Gita? There are so many points. Well, first of all, because we learn so many things from Dhritarashtra, that how he is too attached with his sons, although he knew that Vasudeva, Krishna, is God, but still he's due to his attachment. Sutapta vitaya janasya moho yamahamameti. When we become attached to our family members, then janasya moho becomes illusion. Yamahamameti. That's why mamaka, in the beginning, Dhritarashtra mentioned mamaka. This is ahamameti conception. Yeah. So mamakaha, you mentioned that. So we can learn from that also his attachment, and we learn that we shouldn't be attached. Another aspect to answer that question is that because when Arjuna asks Lord Krishna to reveal the Virat Rupa, so nobody except Arjuna could see that Virat Rupa, okay, in the battlefield. First of all, because you need the Divya Chaksu in order to see that. And secondly, it's too glowing, too bright. Even Bhismadev was like, whoa, it's dazzling my eyes. Could not see. Yeah. So when Lord Krishna revealed the Virat Rupa, Arjuna sees this and Arjuna offered prayers. But now in the 10th chapter, Arjuna accepts Krishna as the Supreme Lord, Param Brahma, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So only Arjuna sees it. But in another hand, Sanjaya also, by the mercy of Vyasadeva, he could see what was going on in the battlefield. So Sanjaya also can see what was going on in the battlefield, including how Lord Krishna manifests the Virat Rupa and how Arjuna was praying to the Virat Rupa. Therefore, in the beginning of the 11th chapter, so it is Sanjaya who is describing to Dhritarashtra how Arjuna is witnessing this Virat Rupa and Arjuna's prayer to the Virat Rupa. So it is not only Arjuna who accepted Krishna, claiming Krishna, yes, Krishna is proving himself now to be God by showing this Virat Rupa, but nobody else can see that in the battlefield, only Arjuna. But then Sanjaya is there also to see. Therefore, Sanjaya is confirming that yes, Arjuna is seeing the Virat Rupa which is shown by Krishna. So Sanjaya is confirming that Krishna is God. So by Sanjaya's statement, it is not that Arjuna out of his sentiment, if we may say that just like this, if you know somebody and then that person knows somebody else and they have very close relationship, okay, you don't know anything about that person. But if that person say that, okay, he's good man, but how can you trust? Unless you are witnessing yourself. So same thing also like Arjuna, how people will trust Arjuna? Because Arjuna is asking Krishna to show the Virat Rupa in order to prove Krishna as God. But how people will believe Arjuna's statement is through Sanjaya, because Sanjaya is also witnessing. Yeah, that's interesting aspect. That's why Sanjaya is there to fill up the pages of Bhagavad Gita, not to give us burden, oh, we have to read more of this book. No, just to support Arjuna's statement. Yeah. All right. And third point from Prabhupada's purport. Of course, Krishna also appeared as the son of Devaki on this earth. How Krishna remained the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, the eternal original person, is very difficult for an ordinary man to understand. Therefore, to clarify this point, Arjuna put this question before Krishna so that he himself could speak authoritatively. So this is from Srila Prabhupada's purport. Of course, we know that how Lord Krishna appeared as the son of Devaki is by, showing his four-handed form. Right. So these are Srila Prabhupada's important points here. I put all this reasoning why Arjuna is asking this. Yeah. Because people also may ask this. What is the proof that Arjuna is present 120 million 400,000 years ago to instruct this knowledge to Vivaswan? But he just appeared 125, he just appeared 5,000 years ago as the son of Devaki. So this question may raised by the non-believers. Okay, so the answer is here. Text number 5, the personality of God had said, many, many births, both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot, O subduer of the enemy. Prabhupada explained, devotees like Arjuna are constant companions of the Lord, and whenever the Lord incarnates, the associate devotees also incarnate in order to serve the Lord in different capacities. Although Arjuna is addressed herein as the mighty hero, Parantapa means subduer of enemy, who could subdue the enemies, he is unable to recall what had happened in his various past births. Therefore, a living entity, however great he may be in the material estimation, can never equal the Supreme Lord. Anyone who is a constant companion of the Lord is certainly a liberated person, but he cannot be equal to the Lord. Yeah. So, Krishna mentioned here to Arjuna that both you and me, we have appeared in the past. For example, like Nara and Narayan Rishi. So they are non-different than Krishna and Arjuna. Nara and Narayan Rishi. Yeah. So Arjuna is the eternal companion of the Lord. Yeah, eternal companion. But what Srila Prabhupada explained here is that no matter how great soul is, can never be equal to Krishna. Yeah, Krishna is not as the Asama or Urdhva. Asama or Urdhva. Nobody can be equal to Krishna. Asama and Urdhva means above Krishna. Nobody. Therefore, when the jiva, although the jiva is pure, like its constitution is pure, but when the jiva is being covered by the material body, he will forget something. He will forget because it's covered by this material covering, by the three gunas also. Yeah. So Krishna mentioned here that both you and me, we have done so many pastimes, so many pastimes together. You are my eternal companion. Like Lord Chaitanya and Ramananda Roy is also Krishna and Arjuna. Right? So many. But the thing is that you forget, but not me. Krishna mentioned, Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna, bhavishyani chabutani mam tu vedana kashya. In the 7th chapter, later you will find that. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna. Krishna says that I know everything, what had happened in the past, what is going on in the present, and what will happen in the future. Mam tu vedana kashana, but no one knows me. So Krishna knows everything, but no one knows about Krishna. Krishna says. So no wonders, because we are jiva. Our quantity is different. we may have same quality, Satchit Ananda, but quantity is different. Krishna is the Vibhu, supreme, big, and we are just the Anu, means just small, small spot. So as soon as we get this material covering, we are covered by forgetfulness. Yeah. Although Arjuna is an ever liberated person, but what Srila Prabhupada explained here, in order to support his mission, his lila, yeah. So Krishna never had his pastime alone. Krishna would always have his pastime along with his associates, companion, devotees. Yeah. Krishna loves to play. Yeah. Text number 6. Although I'm unborn, yeah, Ajahn, and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, by my internal energy, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. Yeah, Krishna is unborn, so he just appeared. He just appeared. He is unborn. He just appeared. Yeah, just like now I'm in my room, for example. Then if I go out from my room, so I don't say that I'm born from this room. No, I just appear from my room. So similarly, Krishna also like that. When there is a need, yeah, paritarnaya saranam, yada yada yada, when there is a need, so Krishna would appear. He's unborn. Okay, he is accepted as the Yashodanandan or Nandanandan, Devaki Nandan. So Krishna is taking that role just to please his devotees. But in fact, he's actually Aham Bija Pradapita. He's the father of all living entities. He's the seed giving father to all living entities. I mean, he's our father, he's our origin. But in order to reciprocate with his pure devotees, yeah, Paritanaya Sadhunam, to reciprocate with his pure devotees, he's ready to, as if he's born from the body of his pure devotees. Yeah. So he's unborn, but he appears when there is need. In the material world, the living entity has no fixed body, but transmigrates from one body to another. The Lord, however, does not do so. Whenever he appears, he does so in the same original body by his internal potency. In other words, Krishna appears in this material world in his original eternal form, with two hands holding a flute. Yeah, ete chamsa kala pumsa Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam. Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Hridayanti. So when Krishna appeared, he appeared in his original transcendental form. So when we take birth, okay, so-called take birth, we always change our body. But when Krishna appeared, so he appeared with his eternal form. So for example, like Vamana, Varaha, Matsya, Nrsimha, these forms are actually eternally existed in the Vaikuntha. So in Vaikuntha also there are different, so many unlimited planets. The planet of Varaha, the planet of Nrsimha, Vamana. So depending on our mood of worship, we go to those planets. So when Krishna appeared as Nrsimhadev, for example, so that Nrsimhadev in Vaikuntha appeared here. So these forms are eternal. That's why the Acharyas explain that actually these pastimes is not happen just now. At this particular time, it's been going on millions of times. Millions of times. So we may think that the same pastime is repeated, yes, but sometimes there is a slight difference. For example, when Krishna subdued Kaliya, okay, when Krishna subdued Kaliya, okay, that's it. The pastime is just like that, and Kaliya just get the shelter of Krishna. But there is an explanation in Harivamsa. It is mentioned that Kaliya becomes Lord Krishna's carrier when Krishna went to Mathura to chastise Kamsa. So Krishna was, carried by Kalia from Vrindavan to Mathura. So that's in Harivamsa. So the same pastimes may happen. Okay, at this time Krishna appeared to kill Kamsa because Kamsa gave so much burden to the earth. But how Krishna came from Vrindavan to Mathura at this time? Through Akrura, okay, by chariot. But in other pastimes, same thing happened, but slightly different maybe. So at that time, Krishna was riding on Kalia to Kamsa's court. Yeah? So these pastimes have been going on millions of times. Yeah. Maybe at this time, Lord Nrsimhadev appeared from the pillar. Maybe at some other pastimes, he may appear from the wall. We don't know, right? We don't know. But these pastimes is eternally happening. Yeah? And those forms are already there, eternally existed in the spiritual world, in Vaikuntha Loka. Therefore, Krishna mentioned here that when he appeared in his original transcendental form. So all the forms that Krishna appear with is actually is actually transcendental. It is not material like ours. Okay, this is the famous verse. Text number 7. Yada yada dharmasya tanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijamya. Whenever and wherever. Yeah. Yada yada. Yeah. Yada yada. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice. Glanir means decline. O descendant of Bharat, and a predominant rise of religion. Yeah. Abhyutanam adharmasya. Abhyut means raising up. At that time, I descend myself. So Lord Krishna mentioned here that Tadatmanam Srijami Aham. Srijami Aham. He descends. That means he comes down. He appeared from the spiritual world. He comes down through his original form. Yeah. He's not created by matter. He just descends. He therefore appears by his own will whenever there is a whenever there is a predominance of irreligiosity and a disappearance of true religion. Principles of religion are laid down in the Vedas, and any discrepancy in the matter of properly executing the rules of the Vedas makes one irreligious. In the Bhagavatam, it is stated that such principles are the laws of the Lord. Only the Lord can manufacture a system of religion. The Vedas are also accepted as originally spoken by the Lord himself to Brahma from within his heart. Yeah, here it is. Prabhupada's statement. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adika Vaye. Yeah, spoken by the Lord himself to Brahma from within his heart. And Srila Prabhupada also explained that only the Lord can manufacture a system of religion. Yeah. Where it is mentioned in the Bhagavatam, anybody would like to guess which verse it refers to? That religion appears from Krishna. Krishna manufactured religion. Dharmam tu saksat bhagavat pranitam. Yeah. Now why we do risayana pidevaha? Krishna says that dharmam tu saksat. No, it is the statement of Yamaraj. Yeah. Dharmam tu saksat bhagavat pranitam in the 6th canto. After the Yamaduta being chastised by Vishnuduta, because Yamaduta thought that our master Yamaraj is the supreme person. We get order from him only. And then when this Vishnuduta appeared and chastised them, and then they approached Yamaraj and asked, like, who's those personalities? Is there any other personality greater than you? And because we know that you are the origin of all religions. And Yamaraj said, Dharmam tu saksat bhagavat pranitam. Bhagavat, Supreme Lord, Krishna, Vishnu, is the manufacturer of religion. I'm just his servant, Yamaraj said. Now why we do Risayodna Pidevaha? not by the great rishi, not by great demigods. Trisayo napi devaha, na siddha, not by the siddha, na ashura. What to speak of demons? Don't Nashida Mukha Ashura Manusha, not by human being. It's only by God. Krishna manufactured religion. Yeah. Bhagavan. Right. And then Paritranaya Sadhuna. Oh, Paritranaya Sadhuna. In order to reciprocate, protect his devotees. And then Vinasaya Chaduskritam, to kill the demons. Dharma Samstapanasaya, to reestablish religious principles. Sambhava me yuge yuge. I myself appear millennium after millennium. Yeah. Prabhupada says, as far as the atheistic are concerned, it is not necessary for the Supreme Lord to appear as he is to destroy them, as he did with the demons Ravana and Kamsa. The Lord has many agents who are quite competent to vanquish demons, but the Lord especially descends to appease his unalloyed devotees who are always harassed by the demoniac. There are various kinds of avatars, such as these are the 6 types of avatars. Yeah. Purusha avatars, Guna avatars, Lila avatars, Satyavesh avatars, Manvantara avatars, and Yuga avatars. All appearing on schedule all over the universe. You see, they already have schedule. All these personalities, forms of the Lord already manifested, already existed. They just appear according to the schedule. But Lord Krishna is the primary Lord of the fountainhead of all avatars. Yeah. Itichamsa Kala Pumsa, yeah, Krishna's to Bhagavan's. All others form of the Lord is the Amsa. Yeah. Amsa means the part, the partial incarnation. So that means Vishnu is also incarnation of Krishna. It is not that Krishna incarnation of Vishnu. Yeah, he is the origin. Therefore, Krishna is known as the avatari, not avatar. Krishna is known as the avatar. And interestingly, Srila Prabhupada explained here that the primary purpose of Krishna appear is not to kill the demon. Therefore, Krishna first mentioned Paritranaya Sadhunam in order to reciprocate with his pure devotee, to save his pure devotee. His devotee is his main concern. To kill the demon, it's easy. Simply by inhaling. When the whole universe got crushed, automatically the demons will be vanquished. It's just a matter of a second. If Krishna wants, by his will, this demon die, they will die. Yeah. But Krishna loves to play, yeah, play drama. The curse given by the Kumaras to Jai and Vijay is also Krishna's plan. Because in Vaikuntha now Krishna's hand becomes itching. He wants to fight, but there is no demon in Vaikuntha. There is no enemy. Therefore, this Jai and Vijay should be cursed, appear in the family of a demon, and because in the material world also there is nobody who can almost equal with the Lord in fighting. Therefore, only Jai and Vijay can be almost equal to Krishna. If we see in the 3rd canto how Lord Varaha fought with Hiranyaksha, it takes like years and years, struck after struck, hitting after hitting, blood profusely emanates from both personalities. Yeah. So because Krishna wants to play, yeah, Krishna wants to play. Krishna wants to fight. Of course, mock fighting. So that's the point. Krishna's main concern is just his devotee. Yeah. If demons, by his will, demon can be vanquished very easily. Yeah. But Krishna loves to have loving reciprocation with his pure devotees. All right. And then text number 9, what happened if we understand Krishna's appearance? Tyaktva deham punarjanma naitimam eti sorjuna. Yeah. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance, janma. Yeah. The word janma here is not birth, but appearance. Yeah. Transcendental nature of Krishna's appearance, janma. Therefore, his janma is divyam. Yeah. And activities, karma. So janma and karma, how he appears and his pastimes are divyam, transcendental. So does not upon leaving the body take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjun. Yeah, tyaktva deha means after we give up this body. Punar janma means to take birth again. But if we understand this tattva, that Krishna's appearance and Krishna's pastimes are transcendental, are divine, then we can come back to the spiritual abode once we leave this body. Anyone who understands Lord Krishna to be the supreme, or who says unto the Lord, you are the same supreme Brahman, personality of Godhead, is certainly liberated instantly, and consequently his entrance into the transcendental association of the Lord is guaranteed. So understanding about Krishna, not at all easy. Yeah. Especially here in India, like, okay, so many cartoon, about Krishna, Chota Krishna, killing Kamsa, killing demons, this and that. But people may know about these activities, this karma, Krishna's activities, and how Krishna took birth, okay, in the jail through Devaki, and then Vasudeva brought Krishna to Gokul and so on. Almost everybody in India, I think, knows this pastime. But do they believe that this is actually transcendental pastime? We don't know. Yeah. So those who accept that these activities are not mundane is guaranteed to go back home, back to Godhead. Yeah. Knowing and understanding and realizing, these are actually different levels. Yeah. Simply knowing is just knowing. Yeah. And then understanding, go deeper, and realizing even deepest. Yeah. That is good, better, and best. Yeah, good, better, and best. Knowing, understanding, and realizing. Yeah. So how to understand Krishna Tattva is through bhakti. Bhakti sime sakacheti. Yeah. Krishna is explaining how one can very easily enter into the spiritual world or kingdom of God. The simple formula is that anyone who understands the disappearance, activities of the Lord as divyam, transcendental, with perfect knowledge of the absolute truth, simply by understanding, one can immediately enter into the spiritual kingdom. The whole thing depends on our surrendering process and engage ourselves in the service of the Lord. You see, this is the formula here. To understand Krishna Tattva is engaging ourselves in the service of God. Then gradually the Lord reveals to the devotee. That is the process. Yeah. So this is lecture by Srila Prabhupada. So service is actually helping us to understand better the philosophy. Yeah. Service. Why? Because by service our heart is being cleansed. Unless our heart is being cleansed from so many anarthas, we cannot understand Krishna. Therefore, we cannot understand Krishna simply by reading, Naham Vedaya, Na Tapasa, by austerity, no. Na Dhanena, by giving charity, no. Krishna says no in the 11th chapter. You will study later. But only by the process of devotional service. Yeah. Because this is the Chetodarpana process, cleaning the heart. Yeah, cleansing our heart, that will help us understand. because Krishna doesn't reveal himself to a dirty, hard person. Krishna will reveal himself only to those who are clean, those who are pure. And then another aspect of this lecture is that, Divyam, understanding. Prabhupada mentioned this is the simple formula. Appearance, disappearance. Therefore, in the beginning, I was very upset actually with Krishna's pastimes, how he left his body. I was so upset. Why? It's like not so glorious. Okay, he was laying down, he was sitting, and then by chance this Jara came, the hunter, and shot his toe, and he died. Bhishma in the battlefield of Kurukshetra appears so many arrows on Krishna's chest, and Krishna was okay. But this hunter just shooting on his toe and he died. I was so upset with his pastime. Why? Why, Krishna, why? But the purpose is that in order to bewilder the non-believers. If you don't believe Krishna is God, you will accept like that. Okay, Krishna was killed by a hunter, that's it. Chapter closed, finished Krishna Lila. But as devotees, we understand it's just the way how Krishna wants it, first of all. Secondly, to bewilder the non-believers. The non-believers will say, okay, if he's God, why he's killed? That's it. But we know that it's Krishna's plan, and Krishna is accepting the curse of his devotee. The curse of, first of all, Gandhari was cursing Krishna because Gandhari was so upset that Krishna was helping the Pandava to kill all her sons. So Gandhari was cursing Krishna. All your dynasty will be destroyed. Okay. Secondly, the Yadus, the descendants of Krishna, was cursed by the sages because they make fun of the sages. So they cursed that, so they were asking like, what will appear from this womb? Actually, they dress themselves as girls, all this past. So the sages said, oh, this metal will kill you, all your dynasty. So they crush the metal and then they throw into the ocean, but comes back again to the source. And this hunter was, catching fish, and then some of this fish was swallowing one part of that metal. And then when this fish was caught, and then he found this metal, and then he sharpened the metal and make an arrow. So there's whole sign here why Krishna accept these curses. Because nobody could destroy Krishna's family other than Krishna himself, other than broken from inside. Because these Yadus, it is described in the Bhagavatam that they have almost equal power as Krishna. All Krishna's sons and grandsons having almost the same power as Krishna. Then nobody could defeat them. Only they themselves could defeat themselves. Prabhupada give the example just like the friction of bamboo in the forest. How the forest get burned is through the friction. So similarly, this curse, okay, they went to Prabhas, etc. They got drunk, and finally, when you drunk, you tend to pick a fight. Then they fought among each other and they kill each other. So that was Krishna actually giving the instruction to Uddhava, before he left this mortal planet. So Krishna told Uddhava that I'm leaving now. Uddhava said, no, if you leave, I also will leave. But Krishna said, no, don't do that. You stay here, now you listen to class from me. You stay, you listen this class, and you go to preach Krishna consciousness. Go to Badarik Ashram. Go to Badarik Ashram and start conversing with the sadhus there, preach about me. But I will leave. This is my plan. The whole dynasty is already destroyed. Now it's my time to close my chapter. Yeah. So he accepts the curse because that's his own sweet will. That's it. All right. So that's understanding Krishna. Yeah. When we understand these pastimes to be divine, then naturally we know that he's God and we surrender to Krishna. That's how we go back home, back to Godhead. It's not simply knowing the story that we go back home, back to Godhead. Well, first of all, the story is purifying. Secondly, is that when we understand Krishna Tattva, so we surrender to Krishna. We know our Sambandha. Okay, so this is the first part of our discussion and time is up. I will not go to the next part. So tomorrow we'll see all of you again at the same time. Hare Krishna. If any question or comment, you can ask tomorrow or start tomorrow, yeah, before we start. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.